Hey guys, today we're going to do a little work in the garden. We got some cold weather coming up and I want to make sure all of my plants are protected. But we had some damage from last weekend. We had a frost also. So let me show you what we got going on in the garden. Alright, so I brought out some baskets to put my produce in that I collect. And I got my 3 big pots of red potatoes planted. They haven't come up yet. I didn't plant them too long ago. But now these russet potatoes are starting to sprout. I'll have to cover these overnight to keep them from getting frost on them. My lettuce is still doing wonderfully. Both of my zucchini plants died. I went ahead and pulled what was left on there before the freeze and threw the leaves and stuff to the chickens, and they finished eating all that. My winter squash all died, which I don't know why I thought this, but I thought it would be okay considering it is called a winter squash. So please excuse all the sheets. I've been covering everything. And here's my cabbages. I got some really nice heads coming in. I had a rabbit still coming in. Everything I've tried hasn't worked. So I've just been covering all of these with a sheet just to keep the rabbit from them. I think this will be my first one to harvest. Look how beautiful that is. I'm so excited. It's nice and tight and firm. Wonderful. Cauliflower did good. Brussels sprouts did good. Rabbit came in and devoured all of my kale. So I've been covering those also with sheets to keep them out. So they're starting to regrow a little bit more in the middle. My bell peppers, I had these all covered with sheets and they still died. Thankfully, I pulled every single last bell pepper that was on them before the freeze. So I'll have to cut those up. The deer or rabbit or whatever one's getting in here. I even put out some of that Irish Spring soap, which didn't help. My bulb onions. The rabbit's been munching on my carrot tops, but they've still been okay. My tomato plants had a little bit of damage. It looks like maybe half of the plant has died. And a lot of these are starting to drop their fruit. I had these all covered and this still happened. It got down into the upper 20s, which is pretty cold here. And these are, you know, warm weather crops. So most of my tomatoes are done. But my collards are still going great. The rabbit's been coming out munching on my broccoli leaves, but I don't find that I care too much since I've eaten most of the heads off of them. What I've done, this is silly, but it works, is I just put a little bit of tin foil over my broccoli crowns like this that I don't want them to eat, and it's kind of deferred them from eating my crowns. And I've been just taking off the leaves and giving them to my chickens anyways because they're starting to not look so good. So I'll just take these leaves off, and my chickens love them. Kind of supplement their diet a little bit. And I had a couple of pepper plants here, 2 poblanos, those died. I went ahead and pulled those up. And I got my Ajvarski peppers. I was gonna wait for them to turn red, but there is no way they're gonna make this. So I'm gonna pick these and throw them in an omelet or something this weekend. And I'll grab those banana peppers too. These plants weren't super healthy to begin with, so I'm not too worried about those. The turnips and radishes and collards in here are doing good. So what I'm going to do is come on through and pick all these tomatoes off because they will definitely not survive 25-degree weather. And in another month or so, we were going to pull all this up and put some more compost in here anyways. So, all right. So I guess I just got to get to it. That's all the tomatoes off that plant. So I'm going to leave it just in case but it's dropped all of its flowers and all of its fruit, so most likely this will just be going to the fire pit. All right, so here are the slicing tomatoes I picked from 2 plants. One is only one is what I planted. The other one was a volunteer. Grab my 2 banana peppers and my 2 Edgevarskis. Now I'll move on to the cherry tomatoes. Once I have holes in them like this, I just toss them over the fence to my chickens. You can tell that they're waiting for them, all the noise that they're making. And some of these got pretty good size. A lot of these will go ahead and change colors in the house. I'll just put them in one layer like this in one of my rooms, and they will slowly change colors, and if not, make some more salsa verdes. All right, that's how many I got off my cherry tomato plants. That was 2 plants. They're very productive, as you can see, and a couple of them were actually ripe, so I'll put those separately in my kitchen. And now I'm going to do this aroma tomato plant, and then I have 4 little ones here. I'll go ahead and grab whatever is usable. They've been loving their treats I've been tossing over the fence. All right, so those are all the aromas on the top. All of them were green, but at least they're pretty decent size. This one was maybe starting to change a little bit. I'm hoping they'll slowly ripen over time and we'll be able to use them as red tomatoes. If not, I'll have to make a plan for some green tomato stuff. So this is my harvest today before the freezing weather. I am going to go ahead and cover my tomato plants just in case it doesn't get quite as cold as the weatherman is calling. They have been known to be wrong. But and if they die, then that's all right. This season hasn't been as good as I did in a spring season here. So I guess we'll see. If you guys have any recommendations on how to keep rabbits out of your garden, we are planning on taking down this electric chicken wire fence. It worked last year, but for some reason it's not working this season. And putting up some rabbit fence. So we'll give that a shot and see if that will help keep them out of my garden. They ate almost all of my leeks. They're all like little stubs now, like that. I hope they come back. But I guess I didn't want any leek and potato soup this year. We'll try again next year, and I'm gonna go ahead and get my plants covered here in a little bit and hope everything else survives. Hey guys, so if you really have been enjoying my videos, please like, share, and subscribe. I'd appreciate it.